life's operating system. We are here with you now and forever. We are Shaltazar, the Gavish Baninu, the energy of 33, the Master Teacher. Take a deep breath so you may breathe us in. And once again, another deep breath, for the energy is intense on your planet at this time. There is a heaviness in the air, but of course, it is for purpose. And yet again, another deep breath. For breath will help you understand, yes, the in-breath and the out-breath, the inhale and the exhale. Do you notice that they are not the same? The in-breath, the inhale, allows oxygen to be taken into your lungs, into your body, while the out-breath, the exhale, allows the stale carbon dioxide to leave the body. Have you ever taken time to contemplate or reflect on the breathing process of your body? It is such an important function in the human anatomy, and yet so few of you think about it or choose to hold it in high regard. Just like the beat of the heart, so important in circulating the oxygen-rich blood throughout your human vessel. So often are the breath and the beat of the heart ignored. They are just taken for granted. But the Source did not take these processes for granted. No, the Source took great care, great patience in creating the breath and the human heartbeat. Not only care, but love. Every part of the human body was created with great attention and great love. Yes, unconditional love. Do you treat your physical vessel with love? Do you take care of it? Do you nurture it? Probably not as much as you could. No, you are too busy focusing on what you want in your life and not appreciating what you already have, like the perfection of your body. Your doctors and scientists appreciate the intricacy of the human body. They have studied it for many years. They even try to duplicate its magnificence as they try to keep you alive, to keep you healthy. But this is not what our teaching is about today. However, it would be wise for all of you to pay greater attention to your physical vessel. There is great wisdom in each and every cell of your body, and yet many of you search so diligently to find wisdom, knowledge, but you only try to find it using one small part of your human body, the brain. By focusing on the brain, the part of you that thinks, you often miss the bigger picture. We have told you many times that unity, the oneness, is how you will get more of what you want in life. And your physical vessel is no exception. If you stop looking for all your answers in life from your brain, your thinking mind, you may come to realize there is so much more to life. Some of your scientists have stated that humans only use a very small part of the brain's potential. Let us assure you that is true. The parts of the brain that you have not yet figured out how to use are the parts that operate in a different fashion than the parts you currently use. It is similar to your computing devices. Each computing device on your planet has what often is referred to as an operating system. That system gives instructions to the computing device. Many of you only see the output of your computing devices, but rarely do you concern yourself with how the operating system does what it does, how it creates the output. Understanding how output is created is the key to a more enhanced life. This is similar to what we have said about the human body. You breathe with your lungs, your heart pumps oxygenated blood, your veins return the used blood to be circulated back to the heart and purified. There are many other organs in your body that have specific functions, but those organs don't work in isolation. No, they work as one. The unity of the body working in sync with the most amazing, most advanced, most miraculous operating system ever invented. Yes, a remarkable operating system designed by the great Creator. And just like your computing devices, most of you pay no attention to that operating system. Some of you may know the principle, as above, so below, as below, so above. We will not get into the depth and intricacies of this principle at this time. But what we will say is all of God's creations, yes, all, have an operating system. When you look at Mother Nature, often you see the output of that operating system, but once again, rarely do you concern yourself with how the creation actually occurred. As you may have noticed, we keep giving you examples of how human beings on your planet tend to focus on output and not on how the output is created. There is another principle that we would like to introduce into this teaching, the principle of cause and effect. With every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. I believe that is a familiar saying in your science. In human life, however, it is not as clear as in your physics, how every action creates an equal and opposite reaction. But that is because you don't understand the operating system. Just like you don't understand in your computing devices how thousands, maybe millions of lines of what you call code are creating equal and opposite reactions all of the time. And we hear you say, we are confused. What is this teaching all about? This teaching is about realizing what is truly happening in your life. What is going on in all life around you is happening because of the most intricate, most complex, most loving operating system ever designed. Unfortunately, you can never fully comprehend or understand this operating system. Your limited dimensionality prevents that. But by not trying, by not putting any effort into studying, reflecting, and contemplating the operating system of life, you are left to float aimlessly in the sea of life. Yes, creating unconsciously without understanding how you have been involved in what comes your way. So if we can never truly understand this operating system, why should we put any effort into trying to do so? Isn't that a waste of time, you say? And to that, we would strongly disagree. Let us come back to the human body's operating system. Although you may never totally figure it out, so many humans on your planet spend endless hours trying to understand ways to keep your bodies healthy. Scientists, physicians, alternative healthcare providers, nutrition experts, fitness experts, and on, all spending great amounts of time and resources trying to figure out how to keep the body alive longer. And for that effort, we commend you. But now for the essence of today's teaching. Why aren't you spending more time and resources trying to figure out more of the total operating system of life? Why aren't you trying to understand the greater picture, the whole? You may have figured out how cause and effect works in the sciences and technology, but what about the rest of life? We have told you that all life has purpose. Nothing the source creates is without purpose. All operates within the principle of cause and effect, and each cause and how the effect arises is laid out in the operating system of life. It would serve you well to spend more time trying to understand how cause and effect works all around you. But don't do so in a logical and linear way, or you will be unable to truly grasp this concept. You strive to have longevity with your human body, but you have not yet put enough attention on the rest of life. You tend to focus on the parts instead of the whole. That is why you haven't yet figured out how to use the full capacity of your brain. You focus too much on the individual parts of life, and you have not yet learned to put attention on the whole of life. Our advice to you is to begin to spend more time looking at the bigger picture, so to speak. Some techniques to help you in trying to understand the operating system of life are observation, awareness, reflection, and contemplation. Try not to do so from your thinking mind, but instead simply use your innate intuitive sense to do so. Those humans who have done so have brought many beneficial inventions to your world. The area of technology is a great example of looking more at the whole and not as much at the individual parts. When it comes to your body, don't just look at your diet or exercise. Look at the totality of the body's operating system. Learn to speak to your body and learn how to hear it speak back to you. Move above more of the time so you can understand more fully how all things operate below. We have told you, as above, so below. Begin to focus on the macrocosms of life instead of just the microcosms. Watch for trends. Pay attention to the overall, the bigger picture. Understand more the operating system instead of just focusing on the outputs. What are the inputs that are creating your outputs? Pay more attention to how cause and effect is playing out in your life. And that brings us full circle to the beginning of this message. The in-breath and the out-breath are merely components, intricate parts of the breathing operating system. Just as your computer operating systems, within the millions of lines of code, there are parts of that code that do one thing and parts that do another. Parts working together to form the whole. And such is life. Your breathing operating system is merely one component of all the other bodily operating systems that work together to allow the body to function in unison. Parts working together to allow a fully functioning whole. Maybe that is a hint as to why we are suggesting more cooperation and collaboration on your planet. All of the source's operating systems are specifically designed to work in unison, together with all others. Whether they create expansion or contraction, the parts of the operating systems always work together. Learn more about all the operating systems in and around you and try to allow them to work more in unison, more as one, and you will find your world will change in a big way. Although this teaching may be difficult to truly understand, it is designed to allow you, as you reflect and contemplate what we are sharing with you, to more fully integrate and embody this wisdom into your operating system. We bring you this message from a place of love. Our love for you is everlasting and unconditional.